We're talking about writing equations of lines, and in this case, we want to write the equation of the line that passes through the two given points. So we have 8, -3, and 8, 5. So those are our two coordinates. So the first thing we want to calculate is our slope. And so when we write that, we want to write it as m equals, and I always put in my divide sign and my two minus signs to make sure I don't forget those. And then I'm just going to substitute in those values. So the y1, x1, we always stack those over top. X1 is 8. We always stack those over top of each other. And y2 and x2, we always stack those over top of each other. That way, when we go to do the math, we don't sometimes flip those around. So go ahead and do the operation in the numerator. -3 minus 5, that's going to be -8. Both are negative, so add and keep the sign. And then we have 8 minus 8, that is going to be 0. If you type that in your calculator, that's going to give you an undefined. Value. We can still write the equation of this line. So we have to go back and think about what does that mean to be undefined. And our slope monster, if we draw that up, sometimes that helps. So we have a negative slope, we have a positive slope, we have our nose, and remember we want to draw the nose, so our nose looks like that. And then we have our mouth, and our mouth goes across like this. So remember, the vertical value is undefined because that's like the bottom of the nose there. All right, so that helps. Now we got to think about what does that mean. So if I have an XY coordinate, I'm not going to put any values on here. I'm just going to draw an XY grid. Where would the nose, if you were going to take this nose off the face and move it to the XY grid, where would it go? Well, let's just say it goes right here. Okay. Is there any Y value that we can tell? Does it cross the Y value here at all? Anywhere on this vertical axis? No, it only crosses the X. So it only crosses the X value. So in this case, our X values are 8 and 8. So 8, -3, and 8, 5. So the only thing that's always going to be the case is its X value is always going to be 8. So we have 8, 5, 8, 4, 8, 3, 8, 2, 8, 1, 8, 0, 8, -1, 8. The thing that always stays the same is that X is always equal to 8. So whenever we have an undefined or vertical, that's going to tell us that what our X value is. So X is equal to something. In this case, X is equal to 8. So that's if we calculate an undefined slope. Next we come over, we're going to do the same thing for problem 8. So we want to calculate our slope first. So slope is equal to, always have that divide, always have that minus, and then I'm going to substitute my values in. So the Y value is 3, and the X value, X sub 1 is -2. Y value is 3, and the X value is -7. So we do that math, that operation. 3 minus 3 is 0, and -2 plus or minus a -7 is +7. So that's going to be 0 over 5. And 0 divided by anything is just that, is just 0. So we're like, well, is that positive? Is that negative? Well, it's just 0. So that's It's not negative, it's not positive, it's not undefined, because we can get a value. 0 divided by 5 is 0. So that is that horizontal mouth there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I just did. I'm going to say, I'm going to draw my XY axis. And I'm going to say, well, where would the mouth cross? Where would the mouth cross? Well, let's say the mouth crosses right there. Does it cross the x-axis at all? No, it doesn't cross the x-axis. It only crosses the y value, the y-axis. And so if we draw these 2 points on here, we have -2, 3 and -7, 3. Well, the only thing that always happens is 3, or the y value is 3. So here's 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. The thing that always stays the same is the 3 portion. So in this case, our equation is going to be y equals +3.